Dr. R. Hemavati is an assistant professor in mathematics in Queen Mary's, Chennai. She has specialized on functional analysis. Having 12 years of experience in teaching, she has won various awards for her performance. She has published papers in 14 international journals, 3 national journals, and has presented papers in 10 international and in 5 national conferences. She is also one of the editors for an international journal.
Welcome to UGC lecture series. In the earlier sessions, we were talking about various components of time series and various types of index numbers. We have also discussed how to compute price index number and quantity index numbers by various methods. Price index number and quantity index numbers can be calculated by the same methods where you have to reverse the role of P and Q when you are calculating the quantity index number by the same methods. So, in this session, in continuance with the types of index number, we are going to study about value and chain based index number. Test for adequacy of index number is also discussed with an illustration. That is, the criterion for a good index number is discussed with an illustration. So, first of all, before going into value and chain based index number, a comparison between price and quantity index number computation has to be done. That is, just see this example. Compute Fisher's ideal price and quantity index numbers for the current year on the basis of the following data. The index number will be called as price quantity index number because we are calculating it with a comparison. Although separately the problems are done for price index number computation and quantity index numbers computation. The comparison here will work out so that you will be able to understand the method further. So, here the price values for the 5 items are given and the total values given. Total value is actually price into quantity. So, the quantity values, although is not given, total values and price is given. So, 300 divided by 6 will give you the quantity value for the base year. Similarly, 560 by 10 gives you the quantity value for the current year. So, look at the solution table, computation of price index and quantity index numbers. Just see the price values are written as P naught for the base year and P naught Q naught is total value in rupees is given, that total is taken and that total is represented as summation V, and PN value is the current price values, current year price values are written here, and this is VN, PN, QN total value in rupees for the current year and its total is written here. Otherwise, this is also summation V and this is actually summation P naught Q naught and this is summation PN QN 1880. Okay, and then Q naught, how this 50 is calculated? 300 divided by 6 is Q naught values, because P naught Q naught is 300 and P naught is 6, therefore 300 by 6 is 50. Similarly, QN values are 560 by 10 is 56 and then PN into Q naught is required. PN is 10 and Q naught is 50. So, 10 into 50 is 500 and then P naught into QN if you want, P naught is 6 and QN is 56. So, P naught into QN is 56 into 6 is 336 and then respective totals are taken. Summation PN Q naught is 1900 and summation P naught QN is 1344. Fisher's method, Fisher's P and Q index number, that is price and quantity index numbers. Price index number calculation is root of summation PN Q naught by summation P naught Q naught into summation PN QN by summation P naught QN into 100. So, the values when you substitute is 1900 into 1880 by 1360 into 1344. 1.44 into 100. The answer is 139.79. This is price index number. Just see how quantity index number are calculated. So, quantity index number is root of, reverse the role of P and Q, summation Qn P naught by summation Q naught P naught into summation Qn Pn by summation Q naught Pn into 100. So, the values are written 1344 by 1360 into 1880 by 1900 into 100, and the answer is 98.89. Okay. So, by Fisher's method, price index number answer is 139.39 and quantity index number answer is 98.89. You can just see the comparison between the formulae. For the following, compute last payers and purchase price and quantity index number for the year 2005 with 1995 as the base year. Here also quantity numbers and values are given. So, here price values are not directly given, and similarly for the current year 2005 quantity values and quantity and values are given. So, quantity means you just have to take it is Q naught and this is V, V is P naught Q naught, and quantity here is taken as Qn and V here is P and Qn. You have to just compute the corresponding P values, price values. So, the commodities are A, B, C, D, E and the quantity values are 50, whatever it's given in the question has been written in this tabular column like this, and P naught 7 is obtained as 350 by 50, that is this 350 by 50 is 7. Similarly, if you want P1, P1 is V1 divided by Q1. Actually, this is it is to be written like this. So, P1 is V1 divided by Q1, that is 420 by 60 is P1. You can represent it as P1 or Pn, anything. So, next you calculate this column P1 into Q naught and then P1 into Q naught is, what is P1 here? 7, Q naught is 50. So, 7 into 50 is 350. Next P naught into Q1. What is P naught here? P naught is 7 and Q1 is 60. So, 7 into 60 is 420. Likewise, these values are calculated and this is total 1680. This is actually summation P naught Q naught and this summation is summation P1 Q1 and this is summation 1700 is summation P1 Q naught and this is summation P naught Q1. Last page is price index numbers and quantity index numbers. First last payers method is summation P1 Q naught by summation P naught Q naught into 100 and the answer is 1700 by 1680 into 100 is equal to 101.19. The quantity index numbers by last payers method is summation Q1 P naught by summation Q naught P naught into 100. This is P01 values and this is Q01 values. Okay, and this is equal to 1650 by, just see what is Q1 P naught. Q1 P naught is this total. Q1 P naught is 1650. 1650 and summation Q naught P naught is 1680 into 100 and the answer is 98.21. Similarly, a purchase method P01 is summation P1 Q1 by summation P naught Q1 into 100. All the capital letters or small letters represent the same price or index respectively. So, no need to worry if the answer is in capital letters or small letters. So, P1 into small q naught also is representing the last payers method price index number. Okay. So, summation P1 Q1 by summation P0 Q1 into 100 is 1670 by 1650 into 100 is equal to 101.21, and Q01 quantity index number by Pasteuris method is summation Q1 P1 by summation Q0 P1 into 100. Reverse the rule, 1670 by 1700 into 100, and the answer is 98.24. You can just see the comparison. Okay. So, by Laspey's method price index number is 101.19, whereas by Pasteuris method 101.21. The quantity index number by Laspey's method is 98.21, whereas by Pasteuris method is 98.24. Almost the values are just nearer, only the decimal places differs. Now, after studying two types of index numbers, price index numbers and quantity index numbers, and the methods to calculate both the index numbers, we next step into study the next type of index number called value index number. Value, we have seen, it is nothing but the product of price and quantity. A simple value index number is equal to the value of the current year divided by the value of the base year. That is called index number, value index number. If this value is multiplied by 100, we get the value index number. Simple means just current year by the base year. If we want just value index number, multiply it with 100. So, the formula is therefore value index number is summation P1 Q1 by summation P0 Q0 into 100. Okay. And if you want a simple value index number, it is summation just V1 by summation V0. V1 is nothing but summation P1 Q1, and summation V0 is nothing but summation P0 Q0. So, V1 is value of current year and V0 is the value of the base year. Now, we have also worked out some problems in value index number already, because a value is nothing but a product of a price and quantity. Since we have discussed how to compute price and quantity index numbers, value, if you want, you have to just multiply it with the summations. Next, criterion for a good index number. For a good index number, the four tests are taken into account, and it should satisfy the four tests, then only it will be called as a good index number. So, test of adequacy, there are four tests that I have suggested to determine the adequacy of an index number formula. These are unit test, time reversal test, factor reversal test, and circular test. We will see one by one what is that. A unit test, this test requires the formula should be independent of the units in which or for which prices and quantities are quoted. This test is satisfied by all the index number formulae discussed above except the simple unweighted aggregative index formula. All the formula discussed means Laspey's method, unweighted aggregative method, and Pasteuris method, Fisher's method, like that. We have seen so many formulae except the simple unweighted aggregative index formula. All the methods satisfies the unit test. Next, time reversal test. This test provides that the formula for calculating the index number should be such that two ratios, that is the current on the base and the base on the current, should multiply into unity. In other words, the two should be reciprocals of each other, that is the current on the base, the current year price index with respect to base year is represented as P01, and the base year with respect to the current year is represented as P10. That product should be equal to 1. So, P01 into P10 should be equal to 1, where P01 is the index for time 1 and 0, and P10 is the index for time 0 and 1. Now, actually a time reversal test is satisfied by the following index numbers formulae, that is Marshall's Edgeworth formula, Fisher's Ideal formula, Walsh formula, Kelly's formula, simple aggregative index formula, simple geometric mean of price relatives formula, weighted geometric mean of price relatives formula. But The most used last payers and past chase index numbers, however, do not satisfy this test. Next test is a factor reversal test. The changes in the price multiplied by the changes in the quantity index should be equal to the value index. That is what is factor reversal test says. That is symbolically we write P01 into Q01 is equal to summation P1 Q1 by summation P0 Q0 is the value index. Okay. This factor reversal test is satisfied only by Fisher's ideal formula. Factor reversal test is most commonly used and it is satisfied only by Fisher's ideal formula. Next, in continuance we have the circular test. A circular test is if P01 represents the price changes of the current year on the base year and P12 is the price change of the base year on some other base and P20 is the price change of the current year on this first base, then the following equation should be satisfied. What is the following equation? We see that is P01 into P12 into P20 should be equal to 1. This test is not met by any of the most commonly used methods, that is last payers or past chase or Fisher's ideal index number does not satisfy this test. The simple geometric mean of price relatives and weighted aggregative with fixed weight meets this test. Okay. We will see how the Fisher's ideal index number satisfies the time reversal and factor reversal test. Okay. So, first of all, the base year and current year price values and total values are given, total value is given. So, price for the 4 commodities A, B, C, D are 12, 15, 24, 5 for the base year and the value is given, the price values is represented as P0 and total value is P0 Q0. So, those values are given. Similarly, for the current year price and total values are given. We just calculate Q0, P0 and then Q1, P1 and the required columns P1, Q0, P0, Q0, P1, Q1 and P0, Q1 columns are formed and their respective summations are taken. So, the summation values are summation P1 Q0 is 505 and summation P0 Q0 is 425, summation P1 Q1 is 530 and summation P0 Q1 is 470. Okay. With these summation values we just next proceed to find out Fisher index formula and see whether it satisfies the required test asked in the question, that is time reversal and factor reversal test. Price index formula is P01 is equal to square root of summation P1 Q0 by summation P0 Q0 into summation P1 Q1 by summation P0 Q1 into 100 is equal to root of 505 by 425 into 530 by 470 into 100. So, the answer is 115.76 and similarly P10 is equal to root of summation P0 Q1 by summation P1 Q1 into summation P0 Q0 by summation P1 Q0 into 100 and the answer is just substituting the values 470 by 530 into 425 by 505 into 100 and the answer is 86.38. Now, what does the time reversal test says? P01 into P10 should be equal to 1. Check whether P01 into P10 is equal to 1. Just we will substitute the values root of 505 by 425 into 530 by 470 into 100 has to be taken into account. So, 470 by 530 into 425 by 505. So, the answer is equal to 1. Therefore, time reversal test is satisfied. Satisfied. Next is a factor reversal test. We should check whether factor reversal test is satisfied. What does it say is a factor reversal test? That is P01 into Q01 should be equal to the value index. So, P01 into Q01 summation P1 Q1 by summation P0 Q0, and this is equal to summation P0 Q0 is nothing but 530 by 425. This is the value index value. Whereas what is a P01? P01 we have just calculated 115.76, without 100 we have to take into account. Therefore, we will just calculate P01 once more. P01 is 115.76 and Q01 is calculated as root of summation Q1 P0 by summation Q0 P0 into summation Q1 P1 by summation Q0 P1 into 100, and this is equal to 107.73. When you see P01 into Q01 is equal to 530 by 425, and this is equal to the value index we just calculated. Therefore, factor reversal test is satisfied. Factor reversal test is satisfied. Okay. So, in this problem, when the price index numbers or quantity index numbers are calculated by Fisher's ideal method, time reversal test as well as factor reversal test are satisfied. Now, after studying price index number, quantity index number, value index number, and the criterion for a good index number, various tests of adequacy for being satisfied by the formulae studied for computing price and quantity index number, we next step in to study the next type of index number called chain based index numbers. For the construction of chain index numbers, by using an appropriate index number formulae, a series of index number are first of all computed for each year with preceding year as the base year. Next, these index numbers calculated after taking the preceding year as base year are called the link relatives. Then, link relatives are chained together by successive multiplication to form a chain index. Thus, a chain index is the figure for each year first expressed as a percentage of index numbers. Now, steps involved in the construction of chain index numbers is for each commodity express the price in any year as a percentage of its price in the preceding year. This gives the link relative. In the computation of seasonal indexes by link relative methods, we have computed link relatives, that is the current value divided by preceding value into 100. Likewise, link relatives are calculated, chain together these percentages by successive multiplication to form a chain index. So, that is the chain base index number formula is chain base index number. Formula is average link relative of current year into preceding year. Preceding year chain base index. First of all, chain base index for the first year base year is fixed as 100. If then we calculate the chain index as discussed in step 1. So, average link relative of current year into preceding year chain based index divided by 2 gives you chain based index number. Now, how to convert the chain based index numbers to fixed base index numbers? Fixed base index number can be obtained from the chain based index number by using the following formula. So, current year fixed base index is equal to current year chain based index into previous year fixed base index divided by 100. This gives you to find out the current year fixed base index number using the current year chain based index numbers. In this session, we discussed about value index numbers and chain based index numbers. Also, the problem was worked out in comparison of computation of price and quantity index numbers by Fisher method and last payers and past chase method. So that when we compare how the role of P and Q was reversed was shown by the comparison in computing price and quantity index numbers. Also, the criterion for a good index number, the test for adequacy for being satisfied by the various formula was discussed, and an illustration was also done how a particular Fisher's ideal index formula satisfies the time reversal test and factor reversal test. Also, the procedure to compute a chain based index number was done. So, based on the discussion in this session, the following question may be posed. Compute Fisher's ideal index number from the data given below and check whether time reversal test is satisfied. Base year price and quantity values are given for 4 commodities A, B, C, D, and price and quantity values for the current year is for 2005 is given. We have to compute the Fisher's ideal index number, either price index number and quantity index numbers both has to be computed, and we have to test whether time reversal test is satisfied. Thank you.